Okay, so it's official now. I've been using the all-new Apple iPad Air 4, so the 2020 version, for the past week now, for a full week now, and today I'm presenting to you my full review of this iPad Pro competitor or Tab S7 competitor. Let's get into it. As always, of course, if you are new to the channel, welcome. And please keep in mind that this video is going to be broken down to different sections to kind of give it a flow for you to easily follow what my experience has been like using this iPad over the past week. And also, please feel free to drop any questions you may have about anything that is covered or that is not covered in this video, and I will make sure that I get back to you because I always just love to interact with you guys, to interact with you all in the comment section there. And finally, of course, can you do me a huge favor? Do me a solid and just take 1 second to hit both the like and the subscribe button there if you haven't done so already. I truly appreciate your support to the channel there. That's kind of what drives me into pushing out more videos like this one. And of course, don't forget to hit that bell. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk design. Now, given the name, of course, you can already imagine that this is the successor to the iPad Air 3, except you have a redesigned tablet which looks extremely close to the design of the iPad Pro. You have kind of the same squarish screen with rounded corners there and flat sides, as you can see here, which actually make it easy to attach that Apple Pencil to. And it has been my experience so far that the magnet that is in the iPad Air here holds that pencil so tight, way tighter than the magnet on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 to hold the S Pen. I also like the fact that the tablet itself is really light. Its portability is just amazing on here, so definitely thumbs up for that. On the back, of course, you have a single camera located at the top, and at the bottom here you will find the smart connector, and that will be compatible with the smart keyboard or the Magic Keyboard. You will then find the infamous Touch ID located at the top here when holding the tablet in portrait mode. Now, this one doesn't have Face ID, unlike the iPad Pro. But there's definitely another thing that is new here. It is, of course, the USB Type-C port that we have here now. You will find that at the bottom. Now, for audio, Apple went for this quad speaker look, but from my understanding, and please don't quote me on this, there are only 2 stereo speakers, but you do get 4 speaker grills, as you can see here. They actually sound pretty decent. Now, I wouldn't say they are crazy amazing, but they definitely sound good and can definitely give some more flavor to your movie watching experience, especially given that the sound will be coming from each side of the tablet. For the front of the tablet here, they went for a 10.9-inch display with some pretty uniform bezels around that, which kind of mimics what you would find on the iPad Pro or the newer Samsung Galaxy tablets. It kind of gives it a very nice and clean look. Now, this actually leads us to the next section here, which is the specs, and that screen is what Apple tags as Liquid Retina IPS display. It's boasting a 2360 by 1640 pixels for the resolution plus 500 nits. And I can tell you that the screen definitely does get bright, when inside, and even when you take it outside, you're still able to clearly see the screen and be able to interact and complete your task. It's definitely a bright screen. The refresh rate here is 60 Hz, and in my experience, given that I have been using the Tab S7 for the past month, I would say, and I've been using that a lot, I can definitely tell the difference between that display and this 60 Hz refresh rate display. And of course, with that being said, the iPad is still smooth, except it's just not as smooth as it could have been if it were using a 120 Hz display like it is the case with, like, let's say the Tab S7 or the S7 Plus, or even the iPad Pro. However, that may not really matter for most people that this tablet is being targeted at, because the vast majority of people won't be buying 2 tablets just so that they can compare screens before selecting which one they want to keep. So I think they'll just be fine with that 60 Hz refresh rate. You get a 7 megapixel selfie camera there on the front, which is pretty decent. You'll be able to run Zoom calling with this, or WhatsApp video calling, or FaceTime and all that good stuff, and your party or the other people on the other end will be able to hear you and see you clearly, and you will also be able to hear them and see them clearly. So those actually are pretty pleasant running it on the iPad. The main camera on the back is a 12 megapixel camera. Picture quality is pretty good, as you would expect coming from Apple, especially for a tablet. I should also mention that it shoots 4K videos at up to 60 frames per second, and the front does 1080p at up to 60 FPS. This tablet is available in 64 gigs and also in 256 gigabytes of internal storage if you want to up to that point, which I personally think it's worth it. If you're definitely going to be buying this tablet, you should consider that. It also comes loaded with 4 gigs of RAM, which for a wide variety of people is going to be more than enough. And I'm talking in terms of multitasking or handling most heavy apps and files and juggling between them. And if you couple that with that A14 Bionic chip, it just takes performance to the next level on this tablet. It's been really, really good. You may remember that just on paper or on benchmark testing, this tablet has some very impressive specs. And I would actually say that it does translate those specs on paper, actually do translate in real life usage. It's blazing fast. There's no stutter, no lags, no crashes. In short, the iPad is now a productivity tablet, and it can actually take on productivity work like a champ. As I mentioned, I've been able to multitask on here with no issues whatsoever. It comfortably handles multitasking with a bunch of apps open in the back or just a bunch of tabs, juggling different things together. It's definitely good to handle all that stuff. I've been able to shoot a video and fully edit it on here. And honestly, that experience was a lot simpler and comfortable for me to do on here compared to my actual computer. And obviously it is more efficient that way because in this case, it is a lot more focused on individual tasks as opposed to working on a computer where you have other things running all over the place. And note that with the Apple Pencil, editing is even easier on the tablet with the cutting, zooming, attaching, and all that stuff. Entertainment has been very nice so far. Movie watching, as you would imagine, has been really nice. The picture quality is definitely good, very sharp. Again, it's not an AMOLED display or anything, but it looks really nice. You get access to that full HD as long as your streaming sources are providing that for you, whether it be Netflix, Disney Plus, and so forth. You do get a balanced level of sound coming from both sides of the tablet. Gaming has also been great on this tablet. All the games that I tested out, anywhere from the light to medium to really heavy games, they all played fantastic. No lags, no frame drops. Asphalt 9, PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty, and I was playing on high graphic here. And I think if you are just an average person and a moderate gamer, you'll be just satisfied with this. Now, if you are like me, then you probably are going to pick up the Apple Pencil 2nd generation, which surprisingly, this is actually my first Apple Pencil 2nd gen, but surprisingly, it's been very comfortable compared to the Apple Pencil 1st gen. I have that, and that one, even though it felt and seemed a little bit more premium, wasn't as comfortable as holding this one, for example. You may or may not know this, it's filled with tons of features. It is really accurate with definitely less lag than I anticipated. But there is one thing I noticed though, and this might just be personal preference. The plastic tip of that pencil feels a little too hard on the screen. So the touch and pressure feedback is just a little bit off for me. And I'm talking specifically when writing. And that may be because I'm so used to the Tab S7, which has such a soft touch. It's so soft when you touch the screen with that pencil. It's literally like writing on paper, so more of an actual texture on the surface. But yeah, that's pretty much my only gripe with writing on this tablet. It's just that constant annoying tap when you hit the screen with the pencil. But anyways, it attaches to the side of the iPad here, and that magnet holds it so tight. Definitely tighter than the S Pen on the Tab S7. Now, unlike the S Pen, you will need to keep this always charged up in order to use, which honestly is actually easy to do as long as you keep the pencil attached to the tablet. The battery is advertised to go out up to 10 hours of video playtime, and it also supports fast charge. And by the way, you do get a 20-watt charger with this iPad in the box. And even though it's just been a week so far, I'm ending up the day with some level of battery left. So I'm able to do light to moderate usage and still end up with some battery left at the end of the day. But then again, I'm still going to be doing more testing and we'll see how it holds up as time goes by. In summary, here's my take. Oh, by the way, I know that a ton of people have requested that I do an iPad Air 4 versus a Galaxy Tab S7 video, pitting them against each other. And I'm going to go ahead and make that. So please do me a favor and make sure that you are subscribed so that once I drop that video, you'll be the first person to check that out. But anyway, so the iPad Air line has literally been turned into a productivity tablet. This tablet would have many people who were going to go for the iPad Pro actually change their mind and actually go for this one instead. And that is simply because besides a few differences here and there, it's kinda or virtually an iPad Pro. Now, of course, if you are a stickler for technicalities, I would say it's not an iPad Pro, right? Clearly it's not. But It kind of is, right? And if you are in the market for either one of these two, I would actually recommend this one, unless you mainly want like a higher RAM and higher refresh rate, or that ultra wide camera with LiDAR, or you're doing constant heavy 4K video edits, you know, with those apps where those multi-cores will come in handy, or you simply want a larger tablet with more storage, then I guess iPad Pro. Now, to all of the students, because I do get quite a few comments from students out there, the iPad Air 4 or the 2020 iPad Air would actually be a nice pickup for you. It should be able to handle everything school related with zero issues. So I'm really hoping that you find this review informative. Of course, don't forget to like, comment. I always catch you guys in the comment section. Subscribe. I'm going to catch you in that comment section like I just mentioned. And I'm also going to catch you in the next video. And up until then, stay safe out there.